Howdy, folks. Welcome to 8-Track FM. And welcome to my first attempt at, vlogging. If you're thinking that I'm nervous, yeah, you're right, I am. Anyway, let's go to the beginning, where this hobby started for yours truly. I think I was about 3 or 4 years old when, you know, my mother had this old console stereo with a turntable and tuner and 8-track player, and I remember walking up to this thing and seeing, this exact cartridge, not this one, for hers was long gone somewhere. Anyway, um, seeing this thing, sticking halfway out of a slot that was in the machine. And, I thought, well, this is a cool gadget. Something that plays music and, plays in an infinite loop, or in my mind, doesn't stop playing. And anyway, I thought that was a neat thing. And, fast forwarding, a number of years, I think I was maybe 9 years old at the time. And we were at Valley Village, which is a local thrift store. And we were just having to walk by this wall of 8-tracks. They're like two 8-track cartridges in a bag for, I think they were $1 or 50 cents, something like that. I can't remember. And one of those first two that were in that bag was Hank Snow, My Nova Scotia Home. And to my surprise, it still plays very well, considering, this is a 50-ish year old recording and plays flawlessly. So, whenever we would go to Valley Village, I would try to get my mother to, pick me up, or we, look at the wall of 8-tracks, and I would, grab a bag or two and add those to my collection. And, this was a hobby that, oddly enough, my mother and I both enjoyed. Even though at the time she was reluctant to get involved in this hobby again because she figured that it would just be a problem. Why is that? Well, these things, they were a little bit problematic, being that they were, endless endless loop tape. So, and how that worked to create this was the two ends of the tape were glued together and held together by a piece of aluminum foil that was, adhered to the two ends of the tape. And after a while, that glue would usually let go, and the two ends would separate, which would then mean you'd have to take the cartridge apart, and if you had your own foil tape, you could sort of re-tape the two ends together. Anyway, that's where it all began for me, and I've been collecting ever since. I've yard sales, thrift stores, even when I was a kid, neighbors would have them, in their basements, that and they would just give them to me. And so my collection has kind of grown since then, kind of thing. And I love the hobby. Like I said, they are problematic. They do require maintenance. They're a relatively high maintenance format, but they're charming. They're different. I mean, cassettes, they were cool and all. You could watch, the reels turn and, do their thing. But something about the way the 8-track operated, at the end of the program, which is, where the sort of the two, where the, how do I put this? Where the end of the first set of music was, you have that, again, that full splice that would hit a sensor in the machine that would trigger a program change, which would result in your playback head being moved down a notch and play the next set of programs. Let me try and show you something here. I don't know if you can see or not, but each little square here is a set of programs. So once you reach the end of the last song on, say, program 1, right? You would the piece of foil would trigger a program change, and the next set of songs would play, and they would keep doing that sort of in a continuous loop until you pull the tape out. Anyway, that's sort of my spiel on the format. I should add that, as and the later years of the format, when cassettes started taking over, people had these 8-track players in their cars, and they didn't really want to spend the money to get their 8-track player, replaced by a cassette player, because it's kind of pricey. So they would pick up these things. It's a little, adapter that would allow you to play your cassettes through your 8-track. Now, unfortunately, I can't, show that because, copyright. But I mean, I think there are other videos on that that you might find out there as well. So, but yeah, anyway, that's my introductory spiel on the format. As things progress, I will, showcase everything else that I have in my collection, and discuss why it is that I have it, or why it is that I like it, or Anyway, thank you for watching. Please, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you have any comments you'd like to add, maybe are you a fellow collector, or are you maybe thinking about entering the hobby? Let me know. Or hey, if there's any feedback you can throw at me to help me improve on my vlogging, again, feel free. I'm very open to constructive criticism. Anyway, that's all for now. Take care.